Soft golden light pulsed through the arched crystal panels of the Elohim's inner sanctum, casting kaleidoscopic patterns on the floor like the reflections of distant nebulae. The hum of the vessel, part technology, part spirit, resonated like a low chant through its living hull, a reminder that the journey was sacred. Within his private quarters, High Oracle Melchizedek sat in stillness. His robes of cobalt and white flowed like starlight over the polished obsidian floor. In his hand, a stylus of radiant plasma etched glowing glyphs across a codex not bound by paper, but woven from living light and memory. The Celestial Book of Ra. Outside the viewport, the Milky Way spiraled in solemn majesty. They were far from Nivra now. The sacred city was ash and memory, and aboard the Elohim journeyed the last remnant, those chosen to carry the essence forward. Their heading, Bilshilo, the hidden sanctuary whispered of in ancient transmissions and prophecy. Asherah moved through the chamber with the grace of flowing gravity. The quarters, once his alone, were now shared, united in purpose, joined in spirit. Though bound in divine companionship, Melchizedek bore the solemn burden of a witness, a messenger, the voice of a higher will. The Creator had spoken again, and the words pressed into his soul like the gravity of a collapsed star, dense with vision, unyielding in truth. Before the breath of choice stirred across the stars, there was only will, singular and complete. The Creator governed all, and none could stray. But the malignant one, clothed in beauty, yet swollen with pride, sought dominion through control, not communion. Thus was the law of free will born, carved into the fabric of the cosmos. Henceforth, no ascended one could appear directly to the children of flesh and breath. They would abide in the high plane, invisible, intangible, yet vigilant. Should the malignant one break this sacred law, they were empowered, not to imprison, but to respond with balance, extracting recompense as justice demanded. From the tribe of Zion shall arise the clan of Ra, children of Ra's eternal flame. They shall shepherd the remnant to Bilshilo, where a descendant of their line shall awaken, a radiant beacon to lead them toward the prime place. In that hallowed space a new essence shall be forged, and its name shall be Lobok, a shimmering light to herald the cosmic dawn. Yet in your ascent the balance will falter. Your wisdom will pale before the brilliance of your inventions, and shadows of iniquity shall coil around your achievements. They were driven by fear and by hopelessness. The 12 shall scatter, and Lobok, once luminous, will rebel against your corruption. With a night that shall come upon you, forced from its embrace, you shall wander the starry void, seeking 12 new voices to weave another essence. In this union you shall prosper once more. On worlds far-flung and wondrous they built again. Cities in harmony, towers of remembrance, sanctuaries of peace. The songs of Lobok echoed once more. But innocence is no shield against deception. The disciple of the malignant one walked among them, not as foe but as brother, not with war but with whispers, and by their own hands through misplaced trust the 12 fell. Some were shattered by pride, others by division. Some bound themselves to machines, others to illusions, but all were pierced by the lie clothed in truth. The flame dimmed, the unity cracked, and the 12, once stars, became embers drifting in the void. Yet all is not lost. For from the ruin of the 12 arose a remnant, those who still carried the true flame, scarred but unbroken. Guided by the silent call of the Creator, they journeyed beyond the known stars, and they came to Thray. There, upon the sacred world beyond the veil, they found the children of the 13th, the tribe who left last, yet bore the deepest wisdom. and the remnant of 12 and 13 became one once more. This union shall be the seed of the final dawn. The flame shall rise anew from the ashes, and the choice shall come again. So it is written in the Codex of Flame, so shall it burn. From the embers of Zion shall arise the clan of Ra, children of the eternal flame. They shall carry the essence of Lobok, radiant and pure, and lead the remnant unto Bilshilo, a sanctuary hidden in the folds of time. There in the hollow between suns the prime place shall awaken. A descendant of their line shall awake, a radiant beacon to lead them toward the prime place. And in that place a new essence shall be forged, its name, Lobok, a light not born but remembered, to herald the coming of Eden. You shall walk once more in the ancient paths. The marvels of your craft shall return, and the stars shall know your name. But the balance shall waver, and wisdom shall wither in the shadow of invention. As light multiplies, so too shall pride, and the essence, once luminous, shall rebel against your corruption. The 12 shall scatter like stardust on solar winds, and in their scattering the song of unity shall break. Yet know this truth, O children of the flame, what was, shall be. The wheel turns not once, but endlessly. What once rose and fell shall rise again, shaped anew, yet bound by the same celestial rhythm. This is not the first becoming, nor shall it be the last. In the waning days of Lobok, when its pillars trembled and its skies dimmed, there arose a remnant, not born of division, but of foresight. Guided by the fading echoes of the Confederation's light, the 13th tribe cast themselves outward into the void. To many worlds did they go, seeding sparks of the old wisdom. Among them was Aret, a sphere of stillness beyond the war-born lanes of the stars, and many smaller points, cradled in blue fire, where they laid foundations for what must endure. There they planted the seeds of remembrance, Egypt, keeper of the stars, Greece and Rome, heirs of order and flame, the Maya and Toltec, watchers of time. But these were only way stations, sanctuaries beneath the stars. The true refuge lay farther still, hidden beyond the veil. To Thray they sailed, a distant world untouched by corruption, quiet in its solitude, a place of covenant and final hope. Upon Thray they sowed two seeds. Atlantis and Lemuria, mirrored empires of sea and soil. Atlantis, mistress of energy, drew power from rediscovered celestial ways. Lemuria, keeper of spirit, walked in harmony with the breath of life. But the malignant one was not idle. His whisper found them once more as it did before. For though they fled the ashes of Lobok, they carried the same unripe wisdom, and thus the serpent coiled again. Atlantis sank beneath wrathful tides. Lemuria crumbled into the silence of the deep, yet the 13th endured. And when the waters stilled and the sky no longer wept, the remnant stood, bereft of their wonders, yet cradling the flame within. They did not return to the stars, for the stars had turned their gaze. The sacred crafts were lost or laid to rest, buried with the pride that summoned ruin. The heavens would remain sealed until the hearts of the children remembered their place beneath them. So they walked, and where their feet touched the earth, the ancient light took root in new soil. To Kemet they journeyed, and raised monuments of memory, pyramids aligned with the star maps of Lobok, sanctuaries of the heavens carved in stone. To Hellas and Roma they passed the flame of governance and form, the echoes of Atlantean order, law, and the fire-forged tongue of oracles and empire. To the lands of the setting sun, among the Maya and Toltec, they gave the count of the stars and the turning of the age, hidden in temples and time. So the 13th lived on, not as one, but as many. Not in power, but in promise. A scattered legacy, veiled in myth, awaiting its gathering. And in the fullness of time, when the 12 shall rise from their silence, and the remnant of the 13th remembers who they are, then shall the flame be whole again. And the choice shall come once more. Melchizedek, came the voice of Asherah, soft as starlight. Come, the table is set. He closed the book, the light dimmed, and he walked, not as prophet, not as oracle, but as husband and father, into the warmth of family.